Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we've got another Prize Picks video for you. We're going to be talking about the NBA slate on Sunday, December 17th. We've got 5 games on board. Should be fun. We've got a couple pretty good matchups, and yeah, I mean, most of them look pretty decent. But we've got that. We've got the NFL slate, so we can mix and match with our favorite picks from each sport. Before we get into our picks, though, if you've never tried Prize Picks, use our promo code. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. They're just going to match whatever you put in. So if you put in 25, you'll get 50. If you go all the way up to the 100, you'll get 200 to play with. So just use that code and they will hook you up with that deal. And then if you are new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're running several different types of shows. This is our late night show that we run 7 days a week. And then Monday through Friday, we run a daily show as well. So make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications on, and you'll be notified as soon as we put our fresh videos up. All right, so let's get into our recap from the Saturday slate. Okay, so I had Brooke Lopez. I talked about how I had to take this prop because it just sounded like a fun prop to take. I know it's scary to think about just blocked shots at 2.5 for the over. But then when I dove into the data and looked at what he's been doing as the leading blocker in the NBA, it's really crazy the run he's on. He cashed this in the first quarter. He ended up going for 5 total blocks. So he crushed that. And then I also had Jonathan Kuminga for over 4.5 rebounds. Unfortunately, he came close. He only got 4. He missed it by just 1. It was a bummer. And then I also had Kobe White over 26.5 points and rebounds. This was scary. I did not think he was going to hit this. Jordy and I were watching the game, and then we just started to freak out when he went on this run late in the third quarter. And he stayed hot through the fourth. He ended up cashing. He went for 29. So he hit the over. He's been getting crazy minutes. That's been a lot of fun seeing him finally get full-time minutes like that. All right. And yeah, those were the 3 I had. What do you have, Jordy?
Yeah. So while you were sweating out Kobe's PR, I was being totally embarrassed by the big butt Kyle Lowry. Yeah. We took him for under 8.5 rebounds and assists. Mind you, he only did this 3 times in the last 10 games, and he had 8 in the first half. So I don't know if the word got out about me saying that about him last night or what, but he was basically playing center all game. Like he was literally boxing out, putting that big thing on everyone. So, you know, he was like just camping under there, man. Yeah. So he went for 10. So we missed on that one. We were sweating it out though because he had 8 in the first half, and then he didn't get another one until late in the fourth quarter. So that was pretty unfortunate. But then we took Cade Cunningham for over his points and assists. Let me see. I didn't pull up what he actually went for. It was for over
31.
31.
He had a good game.
Yeah, so we took him for over 25.5, and he went for 31. So pretty stoked on that one. That one was just so juiced. That was on everyone's radar yesterday. Then we took Jalen Williams for under his rebounds and assists for under 7.5, and he only went for 4. So we hit on that one. I felt really good about that one last night as well. So, 2 for 1, or 2 and 1. So not terrible, but not a sweep. We're wanting that sweep.
Yeah, we were very close. Lowry, we thought we were going to maybe escape on that one. Yeah. And when we saw him coming back into the game, we were just like, no. And then that last one he grabbed was devastating. But yeah, and then also Kuminga had 1 more rebound, and if Lowry would have went for 2 less, we would have gotten the sweep. But anyways, all right, we're going to get into, we have 4 picks for you for Sunday. Before we get into the picks, if you're a fan of the channel, if you don't mind giving us a like, that just helps us get into the algorithm and get our show in front of more people. And we appreciate it. We're trying to grow this thing. So we appreciate all your guys' positivity. You guys are the best community. But yeah, if you don't mind just hitting that like button for us, really appreciate that. All right. So to get us started, I'm going to be going with a PRA prop, and I'm going to be taking Malachi Branham. I think I'm saying that right. I like him to go over here. He's been pretty consistently hitting this lately, up in the 20s in his last 3 games. and I like him to do it again. So we're going to take it for more. He's playing the Pelicans, which I think should be a pretty fun matchup. The Pelicans are pretty heavily favored, but nothing too scary. We've got a 237 point over under with the Pelicans favored by 7.5. So you want to keep that a little bit on your radar. It is bumping up into that like potential blowout range, but with this, I think he'll still get his minutes either way, because this team is still trying to get something going. The Spurs, being on, I think you had said, Jordan, they're on their like longest losing streak in franchise history.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and so they're still just trying things out, and so I don't think that it's the type of thing where they're just going to go to their super deep bench in the case of a blowout. But keep that in mind. If that makes you a little nervous, do what you would like to do there. But if we look at his last 3 games where he's been getting more playing time, he's averaging 31.7 minutes per game, 14.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. And we do have a little discrepancy here too. In one of those games, he went for 0 assists, but he's still averaging 5 a game over that 3-game stretch. So I really feel good about him going over just 16.5. We take a look at the matchup here. The Pelicans are allowing on average to shooting guards 23.5 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, and 6.6 assists. So this is definitely juiced for him as far as the matchup goes. All right, so yeah, we're feeling good about that. Keep in mind, the odds makers aren't on the same page as me for this. I think it's because of the recent uptick in his minutes and whatnot. So he's done this 3 out of his last 5 games, but he's only done this like 4 out of his last 10 games. So I think because of that, and because they are favored to lose the game, the odds makers are actually favoring this to the under. So do what you'd like with that. But I'm going to take it. I think I'd like to just stay in the flames with him since he's been consistently going over this. And then my next play is going to be a rebounds and assist prop. And I like Zion Williamson to go over 10.5. He hasn't been doing this as much. If you just look at the last 5 games, he's been a little bit like spiky here. But he did just go for 15 against Charlotte. And earlier on, he had been hitting this pretty regularly for us. And then he kind of just got out of rhythm. But I think he's getting back into rhythm here. So I'm going to take him for more. If we look at what he's actually been doing over his last 10 games, he's averaging 31 minutes per game and 5.6 rebounds and 4.9 assists. So we're pretty close there, just off of that average, and that's including some of these games where he's been kind of spiking up and down. So I'm going to be taking him for more, especially when we look at this matchup here against San Antonio. They're on average giving up to power forwards 9.9, so just about 10 rebounds per game and 3.8 assists per game. So I'm feeling good about this. I'm going to take the over here. We already went over the over-under. And for this one, I'm going to jump over to Daily Grind. And if we take a look at him here on rebounds and assists, he is juiced to go over on this. So the odds makers are on the same page with me here. Just under 53% Daily Grind chance on their odds to go over, or odds to hit the over. And we've got BetMGM here with the minus 135 for it to go over. So they're juicing this to go over as well. So they are on the same page with me on that one. And those are the 2 I'm going to take. So if you want to take them, go for it. If you're uncomfortable with Malachi, do your own thing. It's fine. But I like catching trends. And since he's been on a hot streak the last 3 games, I think this line's just too low for what he's been doing. So I'm taking it. What do you got for us, Jordy?
Yeah, so to get me started with mine, so I've got a points prop to get us started here, and he's actually the first guy on the board here. I'm going with Derek White for over 14.5 points. So it is looking like Porzingis is going to play, but when Porzingis is in the game, Derek White scores more points and gets less rebounds and assists. So it's like it couldn't mean anything, but I think it does kind of play into what's going on with him. But if you've been looking at his games here, he's been doing this a lot. He's going over this 14.5 mark quite a bit. He's gone over it in 7 out of 10 games, and he's gone over it 4 out of his last 5. So I'd like him to go over this. He's been on a hot streak scoring against some of the best defenses in the league. So I like him to go over this, and it's another rematch against Orlando where he went for 19 and he had plenty of opportunities to go for more than that. He just had kind of like not a terrible shooting night, but if you look at what he did in this game here, he shot 46% from the floor. So obviously there's some missed opportunities there. There's games where he's shooting 60%. He's shooting 50% on the year from the floor and 43% at 3-point. So that's pretty good with a guy who's averaging 6 3-point attempts per game. 40% is definitely pretty decent. So I like him to go over this. Over here on the daily grind, they got him at a minus 125 for DraftKings and BetMGM. So, I think with what I've been seeing from Derek White, it definitely seems like he's in a scoring mindset lately. So I'm going to be taking this for the over here. And like I said, Porzingis is back. So for some reason, I looked it up. He actually gets more minutes when Porzingis is back. I don't know why that is, but when Porzingis is playing, he gets like well over 30 minutes. He's averaging 34. So anyway, that's enough on Derek White. I like him to go over that one. And then for my next pick here, I'm going to be going with the old CJ McDonald's. I'm going with his PRA over. And, McCollum's been awesome since he's been back. He's, he started off a little slow, but since he's gotten out of that weird NBA Cup deal, he's been on fire. He's averaging like 29.5 PRA over the last 3 games. And if we just look at his last 10 games here, I mean, he's getting close to this line just on points alone sometimes. And, he's got a pretty decent matchup against him here. They're going against San Antonio, and San Antonio is pretty bad in this category. Wanted to pull this up here. So if we go to shooting guard, San Antonio is actually like in the top for the worst when it comes to shooting guards. They're giving up 22.6 points, 7.2 rebounds, and almost 6 assists a game. So he's got plenty of wiggle room to get this done for us. And, over here on Daily Grind, you can see his PRA is juiced to minus 130 with BetMGM and a 125 with DK. So, and then they have it at a minus 130 as well with a 52.4% chance to go over. So I'm feeling pretty good about McCollum and Derek White in these matchups. And that's the 2 I've got tonight.
Well, yeah, that's the 4 we're rolling with for Sunday, guys. Take the ones you're excited about. If there's any ones you're not that excited about, just fade them and throw your own plays in there. We're just here to show you what we're getting into, not here to tell you what to play. And if you're interested in checking out the DFS Optimizer from Daily Grind, we've partnered up with them. So they're giving all of our viewers 25% off if you use code BACKDOOR. It's just one word. Upon checkout, they'll hook you up with 25% off your first month. And there's a link in the description of the video if you're interested in checking that out. Also, if you are interested in Discord, we've been having a great time in our Discord, and we've got a link in the description of that is in the video for that as well. Sorry, it's like 3:15 in the morning here. But yeah, we do have a really good time in our Discord, and we were in there all day today just doing research, and we've got 2 extra analysts in there, Moose and Consul, who are always finding great plays. And we just work together, and we work in real time to build out slips. So go check it out if you're interested. And that's going to do it for us, guys. Have a great Sunday, and we'll catch you tomorrow night for another NFL, another NBA video. Have a good night, guys.
Good luck, guys.